Hello, everyone. In today's episode of Mental Health Awakening, me and host Angela are joined with the great Sherri, who in today's topic, we're going to be speaking about your credit health and mental wealth. It's going to be really interesting to hear about today. So, Angela, if you want to do your introduction, and then Sherri, if you can do yours.
Hello from the United States or wherever you are. We are here to talk about a great topic, credit and mental wealth. Again, I'm Angela Jackson, the face of the Jackson Impact. You will get to know me and see me as the host for Mental Health Awakening. Welcome.
All right, so I am Sherri Weakly. I am a single mom, divorcee. I have a 14-year-old son. I have all kinds of hobbies, church, singing, shopping, cooking, hanging with family and friends, but I'm most passionate about helping others. And so I have the privilege of helping others as a financial consultant. And I use the services of United Credit Education to assist my clients with restoring their credit and also just becoming financially literate. So it's a pleasure to be able to do that. And I think it's the best decision I ever made to be able to help people move forward and change lives.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I think that's great, Sherri. That because I know you're talking about this is going to be your first podcast, and I know you was a little bit nervous and looking forward to it. So it's going to be great hearing about it. Especially with money and wealth, because me personally, I'm not the best with money, arranging it all and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to hear about the stuff you do and interest as well. So how do you want to start off? What topic? What within your topic? What would you like to begin to start us off?
Well, just let me say, I do, have some information I want to share. Just the state of where we are as a nation, and as far as our finances and our credit goes. So I have a few notes here. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So just let me share this. First, I'll say, I know many of us know how student loan debt is so enormous right now. So we start off, with student loan debt is higher than all automotive car loans debt in the country, higher than all credit card debt, and almost larger than the both of them combined. So, we have student loan debt is at $1.7 trillion right now. So, and that's not all, but that's the biggest part of debt that we are facing right now. And with COVID, things are harder, tougher for people. So, when I say, your credit health and mental wealth, I'm really asking the question, what does your credit look like? Number one, do you know what that looks like? Where do you stand as far as your credit score and having access to things you need and even, just want? There's nothing wrong with wanting things and wanting better things for yourself. So, and do you have the knowledge that it takes, the tools to empower you to combat the issue of bad credit and financial devastation, and to retrain your way of thinking, as far as how you handle your finances. So, the term wealth, there are three definitions that I have for the term wealth. So number one, it's an abundance of valuable possessions and money. We know that. Number two is a state of being rich, as we call it, material, property. But the third is my favorite. So this applies to your credit or your mental wealth, your credit health and mental wealth. So this is the third definition for wealth. So plentiful supplies of a particular resource. So when I saw that, I thought, boom, there it is, plentiful. We, when we go through the issue of bad credit, so many things come along with that, anxiety, fear. Fear is something that I dealt with because I'm a product of the product myself. So fear is something I dealt with, embarrassment, humiliation when you're going through and you may be losing things, things are being taken away from you. So when you don't have the things to empower you to say, okay, I can get out of this, because it causes you to lose sleep. There are a lot of conditions that come with that: depression, loss of sleep, loss of appetite, migraines, stomach ache. A lot comes with that. So we need the tools to help us to be able to kind of dig ourselves out of that, and know that there's help out there. There are laws that we have the right, to dispute our bad credit. So those are some of the things I'd like to, talk about, how we can combat that and some of the effects of bad credit also.
I like that. I like what you shared, the way you shared it. The topic itself has a ring to it, right? And it means so much more knowing that it has such great value to it as well. I was looking at your bio, and something that stood out to me is where you said that financial literacy is not taught in schools. And my experience has been that it's also not taught in the homes. And if it is, it's not enough. It's not up to a capacity where there's a full understanding of how money works or how credit
Yes.
works. And so I appreciate the services that you offer, the services that you advertise, because there is that connection between mental health symptoms, the stressors, the strain, the headaches, and all of those different types of feelings cycle around and create additional stress.
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
get to the point to where you struggle to understand, even if a service is made available to you. So that it's awesome that you have gotten more involved as far as educating as far as financial literacy, because it's needed. It's well needed.
Yes, absolutely. And we aren't taught financial education in school. Most of us learn it from our environment, or we learn by trial and error.
Mhm.
And the wonderful thing I love about what we offer, the services that are offered, is something we call YFL Mint. So it's actually youth financial literacy, and it's an online tool that parents can use for their kids to learn about finances, and I just love it. Even my son, he was asked a question in one of his classes, if you guys had a topic to talk about, I think it was money, career, or finances. He said finances because he knows the importance, because yes. And I
Go mom.
so it's very important that we know, and if you have limited or zero personal lines of credit, zero or limited financing options, you have, for me, I picked up bad habits just from my environment, growing up. Um, my father worked at General Motors, so he had a good living. But sometimes, like you can get the stuff, but you're basically giving away money with high interest rates, right? So my idea, when you mentioned things that I've done in the past. I was a hairstylist for years, made a lot of money. And so, but I had a bad credit. But at the time, my thoughts were, okay, I have the money, they'll just pay the extra. But I was literally giving money away, and many people are doing that. I mean, bad credit has no certain social, you know, um,
Right.
status, or, it reaches wealthy people, it reaches poor people. Bad credit affects everyone. So, the thing is, if you're giving them away money, that's money that can go into a college fund. And those high interest, the extra money we're paying, large deposits, that's money that can, go into a retirement fund, or just savings, or just the, normal things that we need, daily needs, small things like groceries, gas, things that single moms and families, but single moms like me, those are little things that we worry about. Those are simple things. So, the money that's being thrown out the window for high interest rates and things like that, it affects us. So we have to educate. We need a wealth of education, and a way to ease our minds as far as knowing where we can go, what we can do, and be empowered by that to kind of crawl up out of that depression like I went through. I literally, when I went through, I felt death upon me. And I didn't want to get out of the bed. I felt hopeless. And, hopelessness is a bad spot to be in, because then your resolution can be something much worse. And that has been a resolution for many people, suicidal thoughts and things like that, because they cannot figure a way out. So for me to be able to, I've had clients that call me and have cried, they burst into tears knowing, you mean I can literally, get out of this? There's really a way for me. And I get emotional about it, because I've been there and I know what that feels like. So for me to be able to offer that to them is a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like you say, it's very important, like money and a topic, and as you say, to get taught more in school, because it's not like, as part of like maths, for example, where money is quite a lot relevant, and in maths you have lots of different things, and I think
Yeah.
money needs to be a top one out of anything in maths, because I suppose you have algebra and stuff, but algebra, for example, is something that most of us, unless you're going to a job that is needed for that, which is not much, I don't think, like complicated stuff where you get
Yeah.
told algebra, which money is more important than. I think it's the most important thing in maths, because it's your life, isn't it? Like life is
Yeah.
evolved around money, and like there's so many. It's very important, because there's people that may not understand it may get very confused about the usage of it, and some people who do understand it may like it. It's a very addictive, isn't it? Like money as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And Mason, if you think about how our lives revolve around it, money and your credit score, like really, it can keep you from having housing, which it did for me. As a single mom, I end up my son and I living with my dad and brother, because I couldn't get approved for, just a simple apartment. So it can make the difference in how you're living, where you're living, you know,
Mhm.
if you're living,
Yeah.
if you go dive deeper into it.
Yeah.
So those are, and that's how it goes. And I do have some tips I'd love to share whenever you guys would like me to. I have some great tips for everyone.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I will say that I, when you mentioned that one of the programs or one of the services is for your youth, that's huge, because it definitely should start in your youth. I can remember and a little bit of my story around financial, health is my bad credit started in college, right? Newly graduated. I went to college straight out of high school. So at 18, 19, exploring the world on my own. And I probably had my second, my third job, because high school, it was usually at fast food or something like that. So I thought I was doing something when I went to work at Sears and I got to dress up every day. But I can recall walking through the mall and there was a stand where they would ask you to apply for a credit card, a mall card, or all of these other things. And when you applied, you got $5. You got a $5 gift card that you could spend in the food court. So as a college student, maybe between paychecks, I was at that booth every couple of weeks, not realizing that every time I applied for this credit card, it was ruining my credit. I did all of that just so that I could eat every 2 weeks on my lunch break at work. And it took another student that wanted to apply for the first time to say, don't keep doing that. You realize you're ruining your credit? And I did not realize that. I had not been educated in that area. The only thing I had been taught was don't get a credit card. You're going to run it up, just buy things with cash. And, so that is what, whether I was fully educated on the best practices, what I was taught, that's as much education as I had as it related to applying for credit, or the way, what my worldview was around my credit score, my credit report. I didn't think about that. All I knew is, I'm a college student. I don't have that. And so the next step for me was getting a Discover card, $3,000 limit, knowing I did not make, I didn't even make the money to make a solid payment beyond the interest, so I can admit my credit, I struggled as a young adult because of the lack of education there.
Yes, and you are exactly right. It's not taught. We don't know, so we just go out there, and I think that the focus is more on getting the money.
Yeah.
But we're not taught how to manage the money.
Right.
And there's like a great divide in the middle. There's all this stuff in the middle. So a lot of times we graduate from college, but I remember my first credit card, I was in college, and it being a Mervyn's, or a department store card.
Okay.
And it was like $200 was my limit. And I would just go buy $2 earrings, just little things, just not knowing. So there's a big gap in the middle. We really don't know that, I think I told the story one time about, how we go to department stores and they say, would you like to apply for a credit card? You'll get so much off, or, and we do that because we want that discount. And each time we do that, our credit score is lowered a little bit more. But most of us don't think about that. At the time, we're thinking about the money. So we're thinking about, I'm going to save, get 15% off this purchase. So it's just that we need the knowledge, and we don't have the knowledge. So I love the fact that what I'm able to do is help people improve their credit score, but also get financially educated so that we can change our way of thinking, because it starts in the mind. So we're not thinking things out. Even, myself, I've learned through this to stop and think, stop and think about the ramifications of just getting this or getting that, or, you know, what that can do to my credit score. So it changes your mind from, it gives you a certain awareness.
Yeah.
And that's what it does. So I would tell you that that is a part of how your credit score is calculated. You know, applying for things, you know, all of your inquiries, all of that, that's a part of the whole piece. So that's my thing. I love educating and I love helping people. Now, I will tell you that, well, do you want to hear some tips, or do you want to hear how that is calculated?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
Okay, so I will tell you how your credit score is actually formulated. 35% of it is your payment history. So, you know, on-time payments versus delinquent payments. And the note is that it's the last 24 months is the most important of how you've been making those payments. 30% is capacity and amount owed. So the percentage of your credit limits available. So, you know, you'll hear people say, do not use more than 30% of your credit available, because if you do, it will drop your credit score. So it's almost like we have to become, and I feel, let me just say this, let me slow down, because I love that you guys are asking the question of how it affects your mental health, right?
Yeah.
So if you're focused on working on it, then the other stuff kind of goes away. The worry, the stress, the oh my God, that kind of goes away because you're busy working, you know, working towards building something better. And you're able to look and see, oh my gosh, I did that and that's working. So you start to feel better as time goes on.
Yeah.
You start to feel better and feel like I'm coming up out of this. Oh my goodness. So to me, it is so important that people pay attention to that piece of how it's affecting them. So, and then 30, let me move on. So 15% is the length of credit. So that is how long have you had your accounts? 10% is new credit inquiries. So what we were just talking about. So that is 10%. That's a pretty good piece of your credit score. And that is the number of inquiries and new accounts open, but in the last 12 to 18 months. So you want to pay attention to that. And then the type of credit, types of credit. So 10% of the types of credit, installment loans versus revolving. So that's how it works. It's so important that we know these things. And honestly, I didn't know the importance of it until I got older. And I was hit with this, you know, after my divorce, I was left with everything. And the weight was so heavy, I didn't know how to handle it. And I didn't have the tools to help me handle it. So my tool was just stay in bed, head covered up, you know, and just accept it. I thought that would just be my life. I would just have to accept things as they were, but not so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. And so I also have, you know, a lot of us, we don't know, you know, to know where you're going, you have to know where you're at, right?
That's right.
So we also have to figure out where we're at. What is our credit score? What's a good credit score? What's a bad credit score? And kind of how long is it going to take me to climb out of this? I will say another thing that comes with it is guilt, right? Because when you go apply for stuff, one of my experiences was going to try to get a car, and the salesman made me feel so guilty about, you know, how did you get in this shape? You know, how did you let your score get like this? And I'm sitting there about to cry, guys. So when I say humiliating, it's humiliating. And it stuck with me, like it hurt me deep inside. So, that is where it leaves you, in that spot. But the wonderful thing is we have tools, we have a way. We just need to be educated and supply our minds full of, things to empower us, like I said, to climb out of it. So what you guys, I have a lot of things that I could say. I'm trying to keep some of those things for the wonderful conference that's coming up. So I'm kind of,
I got you. So I do want to say this, and as a mental health professional, when I offer tools, strategies, and techniques, the goal is to help minimize any level of panic, any level of stress. And as you said, it could look like guilt, it could look like shame. It could, we ask the questions all the time. Are you feeling hopeless? Are you feeling helpless? And the responses to that, oh my goodness, it can be across a full spectrum. But when people become educated and when they acknowledge that, hey, I have a problem, when they actually confess and say, this is exactly what it is, or this is what I believe it is, or this is what presents as the main problem, that's when they're able to get that help and be able to implement ways to cope and strategies and techniques and that education. And it's empowering, it is so empowering. So, and that is a great example, Sherri, that you gave of how they both connect. There's a stressor, there's a strain, there's that guilt and shame that comes along with not having met a certain credit score, or not having been taught, or being caught unaware. So it can be very stressful. So once you receive services like what Sherri is offering, what she's talking about, and I love your business name, Weakly Financial, right? Weakly
yes.
Financial. It makes you that just places something right in your mindset. But being able to gain education, gain more awareness, that's what's going to minimize that panic and that stress that surrounds your credit and your finances. This is awesome. Great information.
Thank you so much. And I will tell you, like I said, wealth, it's material things, it's money, it's having those things, but it's also having access to what can help you. It's also having an abundance of knowledge. It's having plentiful supplies of a particular resource. So this is that resource. And, we're able, I'll tell you, people, all the things that cause you to be mentally stressed, we can remove from the credit. So, student loans, evictions, which can haunt you for a long time. That can just, the time that it's supposed to fall off your credit, it can just still stay on your credit as a judgment, right? Mm-hmm. So you need more help to really get that off of your, credit report. So, but those are the things that make you lose sleep at night: child support, repossessions, charge-offs, late payments. So we're able to offer, the tools. When I mention the tools, I'm saying like we're able to give people an answer. So I want to improve my credit score. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get this off of me. This thing that's sitting on me, these people that's calling me. That's another thing. When people are constantly calling your phone, and most of us don't even know we have a right to say, you cannot call me after a certain period of time, after a certain time at night. It's illegal. But we need to be empowered to know that you know, I will say, taking your power back from the fear, taking your power back from the embarrassment, from the humiliation, from the sleepless nights, from the tears, from the heartache, taking your power back by using tools that are available is just so empowering. It's the best thing that could ever happen to a person. And I've seen it bless people and help people to be able to completely change their lives and change the way that they're moving forward, and heal from all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really good that you do it, and like so you're passionate about as well, because and you want to do it, like, because as you said, as we talked about, that not a lot done is in like education and learning about it, which it should be. Like it'd be nice if they maybe had just a class about money. Like I think everyone is taught about it though, in schools, in colleges, but not as much maybe as it would be good for,
Right.
because money, like as we said, is life, isn't it? And it is hard to learn. Even I still find it hard to learn about it, like the process, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good that you do it, and you're helping people with that awareness as well, because and you're happy to speak openly about what you do.
Yes. And the things that are needed, like we offer like credit monitoring, budgeting tools, you know, your net worth, because most of us think you have to be wealthy to have a net worth. We all have one. You know, it's what are your assets? What do you have? That is your net worth. So the way of thinking starts to change, because when you think, oh, I have a net worth, you feel some type of way, like so your mindset starts to change. You know, we are talking about the full picture of transitioning, right, from one place to the next. And it might be tiny steps. You know, for me, it took me years to destroy my credit. And it has taken a long time to get it where it should be. But once I've got the tools to help me know how to do it the right way, versus just paying off something and thinking, okay, now that's just not always how it works. So once I gain the knowledge and knowing how it actually works, it's allowed me, even me, Mason, it's just something that has to change with you, and you still have to reprogram your mind, and on a daily basis, weekly basis, because we deal with money and finance every single day of our lives, right? Even we don't think of it that way, but we do every day. So it's just a thing that you have to be reminded of, and use the tools we have to make it work. And also platforms like this that are making people aware, because for years, when you think about mental health, you never include credit or finances in it. So
it's necessary. Yeah.
I mean, what you guys are doing, it is just a mind blowing like blessing, because I've never heard it included in mental health. So this platform that you guys are using is very powerful. And I'm just so looking forward to see where it's going to go and where it's going, and because no one has, you know, I think when it has been looked at, it's too late. By then someone has decided to, it's close and dear to my heart, because I know someone who ended their life because of the pressure of not being able to restore themselves in life because of finances and the mental health of this person. Just, like I said, when you become hopeless,
Yes.
then that solution for you is, I'll just, you know what? And then there'll be no more trouble for anybody, me, so I thank you guys for this. Yeah.
I think it's like important, but like as you said, that I don't like, it's not recognized during like with mental health, and I agree, because it's not, is it, like the mental side of things with money, and like having a job to do with money as well, because it is very it's very hard, I'd say. It's quite hard, like, to deal with it, and like as you say, like it's really upsetting to hear like a friend of yours that had to end their life because of it, and and here is why we're here today. And like when Angela said to me that like that's your job, and you talk about and that's your job, that's your job with money, and I thought it was really good to like have you on today, Sherri, because I feel it's very important to people to know about it more, and like we say, it needs to change. It needs to be more education, not just what you do. It needs to grow more to different schools, have a own little class about it, because like in school, having lessons about it, you just forget, don't you? Like as like a teenager or a person in school, you're not going to focus on it, and you'll think probably mind in your head is that I can't wait to get home.
Yes. That's all you're thinking about. Yes. Yeah. So
definitely stressors, I'm also sorry to hear about your friend, because that option is permanent, whereas there's another way. There's another way, and that's what is so important. And I think about one mindset, and I don't know if either of you have ever taken a karate class, but they say certain things to help you focus your mind, and then they say focus your body. So it requires a mindset shift, and it also requires a behavior shift as it relates to mental health. Changing those habits, and again, that partners with that financial piece. So if anyone is ever feeling hopeless and helpless, you're not alone, because money is one of those. If I had to number on a scale of 1 to 10 reasons why people come for mental health counseling, it's not always decision making, as far as it could be anything, but money and finances and stability and livelihood would be at the top of that scale.
Yes.
So, and that it's very important. You don't have to look toward a permanent solution for something temporary. It's going to take some time. It's going to take that mindset shift. It's going to take that body shift, that behavior shift.
Yes.
And somebody said, I was listening into another discussion, and they said we have to consider it the full set.
Yes.
You got your mindset, and then you got the full set. We got to get this full set ready.
Yes.
So this is huge. It's very important. And Mason, you probably see me shaking my head, and that's because I have learned a lot of this the hard way.
Haven't we all, though?
Yes, I've had to make
and
make mistakes.
Yes, and honestly, like that person, this is before I was a consultant, and I think now, God, if I was able to help then, and so I feel like I have a duty, I have a job to expose and help as many people as I can to be educated about these things. You know, and even, and I know time is winding up, but like as far as well-being, people need an extra income. I'm also able to bring people into the business so that they can have the gap. There are single moms who need a second job, or even just people who need a second job, but they can't be away from their kids and clock in. So the stress of that, you know, I need some money, but I can't pay a babysitter to go out and get a second job and clock in. I'm able to really bring them into this so that they can do what I do, train them well. They can do what I do and add to their income at the same time. And, you know, but they have to, their main goal has to be, before I bring them on my team, to serve with clean hands and a pure heart. And that is,
Yeah.
that's what's most important to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. And well, one thing I thought of with money when I learned that like it was something we was going to be talking about today, and the main topic we was going to be talking about today. I ultimately went to because money is not as serious to everyone in the world, and it should be,
Right.
because like for footballers, for example, who get paid as much a week as some people would take like a year or like years to earn that, and they only earn that in a week, and like I suppose they just splash their money about. That they might do it to charity sometimes, but as in a way, it's not. I suppose it's not as fair to other people that are just have their job, and maybe because they're not as like famous or they don't do that kind of stuff. I just feel like then kind of people don't have to worry about money as much as others.
Yeah. It's true. And honestly, even if they need it, you know, they need to know how to handle their money.
Yeah.
And you guys also, one thing that we notice, even celebrities, so they pass away, there's no will, there's no trust, there's no power of attorney. And you're thinking, these people have money, why don't they? So that's another piece of one of the services we offer in the cluster of services that come along with the credit repair. Because think about that. Think about if the strain of knowing if you pass away and you have a child, where will they go? Some of your assets may even, you know, end up in court and tied up. And, you know, so that is huge. Money,
Huge.
finances, it is huge. And so you guys are making, allowing me to share is opening up that discussion about what needs to be done and moving forward. You know, and I was thinking, gosh, if we just had that class in schools, like if we just had that financial education class offered, wouldn't that be great? Like that would change the whole pattern and the flow of where we're going, even as a nation. This is personal, but it's also a community issue.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I know that there was, I can remember being offered in high school economic finance and economics, or either government and economics.
Yes.
And it was not even a full semester of a class. It was half and half. They split it. So it, excuse me, it appeared to be, it appeared to hold less significance than, of course, your reading, your writing, all of that
Absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah.
So it just, there was not enough emphasis put on the money management, where it was life application. We looked at it from maybe a government
That's right.
perspective. So So tell the viewers, tell the listeners how they can make contact with you and take advantage of some of these services you offer.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so you can, of course, call me. I do not mind sharing my contact number. Is that okay
Yeah, of
to
course.
share my?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can always call me 615-474-9336, or you can go to my webpage. That's going to be www.ucespp.net / uppercase S, uppercase A, LEXANDER. So it's www.ucespp.net / S Alexander 14. I'm sorry. That's a lot. The number 14 at the end. And I wish I had brought some to put it on the screen, but that is how you can go to my webpage and you're able to see all of the services that are offered. There is credit repair, but what we want to do is empower you. So there are 12 additional services along with your credit repair that you get to help you get on the right roadmap to financial literacy.
Yeah. Well, to anyone who is listening and watching, I would make sure you go and find Sherri, and I'm sure she'll help you, because she's like, I think me and Angela have learned lots today from Sherri. I know I have. But Sherri, just like last off, just to finish up, is there any more you would say, or any more advice that you give to other people who's listening or watching?
I do want to tell you that this is important for you to know. When it comes to your debt, I'm not, whether you go do it on your own and dispute, you have the right to dispute any derogatory, inaccurate, erroneous items on your credit. So anything that's left the original creditor and gone over and been sold to a third party, you can dispute that. It is illegal, and the Fair Credit Act backs that up. So go ahead, empower yourself, take control. You can do it. And that is it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been a really good chat. Well, Angela, is anything you want to say to anything else you want to say?
I do. I want to specifically highlight May, Mental Health Awareness Month, also Mental Health Awareness Week that's in there. And Sherri will be one of the speakers. She'll be one of the presenters along with Mason. And it's the Jackson Impact that is hosting this event. And there will be presentations for wellness of all kinds. So we are excited, especially to have the United Kingdom connection and have Sherri Weakly back to give us more information about financial wellness.
Yeah. Well, I think that's going to be interesting to hear more there at the conference, and with some great people as well. And yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, like for me, just to finish up, it's been like really good talking to you today, Sherri. It's been like I had a really fun night speaking to you. I know. Well, I hope you've enjoyed yourself as well.
I have. It's been awesome. I mean, I'm super excited. And you guys are just so wonderful for caring and sharing. And I'm just, now I'm really I'm ready to go. So
Yeah.
I'm super pumped. So I just want to thank you guys so much. Like I say, your platform is so important. Mental health is so important, not in just my area, but in every topic. Full circle is so important for our daily living. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Like, well, for everyone listening, it's been this has been a really good episode of Mental Health Awakening. And we'll see you on the next episode. Well, thank you, everyone. It's been really great.